I just find it really interesting. It's nothing against this girl here, but I just said to myself, who the hell is she? I mean, I'm trying to... This isn't about her, though. But she's got her page right there. I will never forget the talk from Sergei Mihailovich Brun, Larry Page, announcing, da 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 da, we're gonna have a page. We're gonna dedicate every person, notable person, a page. And there you have it. Her name is Emma Grady. Who is she? Well, she is a British businesswoman and entrepreneur. Da 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 da. Oh, she's not alone in it. You got all kinds of... I never heard of her. Honestly, I never heard of that. There's people all involved in MK Ultra, but... I'm thinking about this guy here. Who the fuck is this guy? And I'm thinking about this guy here. I mean, they dedicated the pages, and you could go on and on and on. You could just... all kinds of total nobodies. And I'm sorry even to say that total nobodies. But what the fuck? Let me Google this here. I don't understand how, but there is actually somehow by mistake two are appearing at the top. You yourself have seen that my internet was flooded with the images pertaining to my blog. Also times, that's all you get here. You type my name. You don't get anything. Do you get anything? You don't get shit. You get more under my name than you get through... I mean, sorry, but this is not acceptable. That's crazy. And there you go. You get absolutely nothing about me. Nothing, one image up there, and that's it. That's all there is to it. I do not exist. That's the only point I wanted to make, because I was told there is one image here, there is another one right below, and then there is one more that's 3 images. Oh, 4 images. 5 images. You get more under my name, which is, this is ridiculous, than you get if you type inside my blog. I don't know if there ever was any blog like this one here. Was there any blog like this one here before? I think this is historic. Truly, truly historic. So very world-changing historic stuff that makes the biggest personalities in the history of the humankind tiny, small, invisible. And we'll never forget the day when I had a Larry Page, Sergei Mihailovich Brin, talking to me inside here, inside of our house. We are, the first thing, we will have the pages. It will be for the pages. The first thing they did was they trolled me, you know. Let me see this here. When you have to get married to be famous, and I don't give a fuck about the fame. The thing is, I never wanted to be anywhere on the internet, until 2006. And I was 38 years of age. Actually, 2006 I was not. 34 years of age I was. I didn't want to have nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with the internet. I didn't want to be seen anywhere on the internet. 34 I was, yes. Like, who the fuck is this guy? He is an American film producer. Alright, let's see what else do we have here. No, I just want some kind of business entrepreneurs and so on. You know, it makes sense for the actors, for the people that you see in public, that they have the page. I'm not against this stuff. I probably came completely wrong about this stuff anyways. I do agree for the people that are on the internet that you see them publicly, whatever, although I don't see, because I don't watch the movies at all. I do agree that for any public personality, people should be on the internet. Absolutely, I agree with it. But I find this stuff... Never heard of this girl, I swear. American actress. There you go. American actress. Involved in MK Ultra, this is how I recognize these people. But when it comes to the public life, that I would be, you know, a person like a person, basically. It's an issue because they started this stuff with, oh, well, we will have now the, you know, for every, you know, you have this kind of pages now practically for anybody. Okay, I don't know. Do they get knighted or something like that by British royals? But I think it's like a special club that if you want to be somewhere on the internet scene as a personality, you have to bow down in front of Charles, and he takes the stick out and he goes on your shoulders, tick, 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 now you're, and then he crosses you, hi, hello, hello. Now you're suitable to be on the Google, whatever, because it's one big mafia, this whole thing. It's a one big mafia. I don't think I'm a dark personality. I don't think I'm a bad person at all. I think I'm outstanding human being. And frankly, about the stuff I do, this is about maybe some people would be, oh wow, maybe as harsh as it ever came on my blog. And I take full responsibility for it. Full responsibility for it, because I scientifically broke down the issues behind this stuff. So I don't see myself as a negative, anything bad about personality. Quite contrary, I feel really, really good about myself. The stuff I do is making a difference in this world. The stuff that people do on the big screen makes no fucking difference for this world. Alright, maybe it does. Okay, but, well, in my eyes, I don't watch Fables, I don't watch Alice in Wonderland anymore. I stopped doing that decades ago. I find this outlandish. I find this bizarre. I know that whoever is going to be a victim of MK Ultra play game stuff, that the world is going to have a very, very, very clear overview about what this political crime is all about. And I bet 100% people will be more understandable. Actually, will act much more responsible inside of United Nations Assembly when considering this degree of genocide, God forbid, against another human being. And we'll see just what difference it makes to grow a sick society in this world, and more than anything, pointed out to you who is behind it all. So I know that I'm an outstanding person. I know I'm the only person that makes sense in this world, in world of politics. I shouldn't say that, because politics, for most of the people, it's like a soccer club. It's like people taking sides on a soccer game or something like that. If you understand me what I'm saying. But I hope my blog gave the overview to the people. And what a blog this is. It's about 13,000 posts. 13,000 posts and well over 2,000 videos with, I don't know, each video, if you would summarize, probably that would go to about 2 hours of length. And with a lot of brain invested in it to explain these things, to have this program going on so that people would understand. Because if anything ever was about human rights, and if anything can make change in this world, is a knowledge that nobody is providing. The mainstream media is a soccer player club. It's you go to the mainstream media, you watch a soccer player. It's like, you know, everybody is into something, but nobody's really into truth. And fact of the matter is that my case translates to me, when it comes to the politics, literally into extreme, through which you people of the world can see that a mental illness, that's a politics. Mental illness is a politic. Politics is a mental illness. Was used as far as getting my father killed. Destroy me health-wise. It's a tool. It's a tool to manipulate, tool to kill. So if you learn anything about life in this world, if you learn anything about politics, about how it all functions, how it works in the world, then you did not learn from mainstream media. If you did learn from my blog. I'm just saying, personally for me, I don't know one person in the history of the world that would be as influential to mental sanity, to mental well-being, to mental health, on general, pertaining to the general public, as was my blog. Because it gives you a full overview about what this world is built out of. Where we live, actually, it gives you an overview, detailed view into Western democracy. It's not about Eastern democracy, and I paid that with the health. They did bad stuff. They really did bad stuff to me. Not only financially, if that's not enough, which goes hand in hand with one another. But, you know, when I consider this stuff, you know, and I consider this stuff here, and shit, forgive me, but I cannot see myself in this internet in absolutely any way. What the fuck is this? You know. No, not mean to insult people, but what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Do you learn anything from the mainstream media about really what goes on? You will know how to protect your family, your parents, and parents will know how to protect you based on what you watch in mainstream media goes on, and what your politicians, psychiatric institutions, understanding of the countries globally to which system they pertain to, and where the whole humanity is wandering. Would they provide that for you? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And you know what? If I go here, I don't know. editor of New York Times, let's say. Let's just pick a random paper. It doesn't matter. And it's going to give you all the breakdown. It's the same shit with everything else, with every other newspaper from mainstream media. So like, you're like really important, like guys, you really make a difference in this world. Like, what kind of fucking difference? I mean, the only difference that you make is when you report over there with your cameraman, with your camera crew, and you actually do video record and you actually do expose yourself to dangerous, deadly encounters, situations where war conflicts, whatever, is taking place. There's absolutely no doubt about it that you do make a big difference with your work. But you know, when it comes to the stuff I do and stuff I have paid for to be seen in a light as I am, after so many years, truly meaningful stuff, they remove even restriction from the Facebook. I mean, this is a tremendous inability of Federal Bureau Investigation, Central Intelligence Agency, you know, and my website. If you would go to my website, the claims that I have made, man, this gets as fucking wild as it gets. The stuff is closer to a science fiction than it would have been to reality, but it is reality. Federal Bureau Investigation, Central Intelligence Agency, other police departments' inability to counter this with absolutely any claims or any legal means, anything that would, as I say in Slovenian, izpodbijati, deter or take away credibility of this. It's not a news outlet. This is my blog. This is my testimony. So, man, I just wanted to address this issue. What's his name? It doesn't matter what paper it is. This is everywhere. You would go like this, boom, boom. This is actually some kind of American music video director. Okay, what about the other one? I like this one better than whatever. You see? Boom, bam, boom. Boom, bam, boom. Boom, bam, boom. So, yeah. So, is this criminality? Is this organized crime? Is this corruption? Or what the fuck? Or what is it? Huh? It starts from the core of the perception that I'm not forced to witness to, I'm raped to deal with it. Disgusting. Disgusting. They get all attention, they get money, they get absolutely everything. And now look at my Outside Times and see what the fuck I get. I talk about murder of my mother. I talk about the mother of my father. I talk about clash between me and my mother as psychiatry, British Royals, police invested heavily into. So, do we live in a parallel world? Oh yeah, they told me, oh, we have a, well, we're gonna have this page. It's gonna be every notable person. It's gonna be public personality. Blah, 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 blah. We start this. Blah, blah, blah. We will. The first time they started, I don't know what year it was, but then it was again in 2005. They told me, now we have decided that we will expand. No, actually, shit, I'm wrong. It was on several different concepts. First, we will have this when they opened this Google search, and they updated with stuff. And they reminded of this stuff. In 2005, we will now have blah, 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 blah. And then it was when I already opened my stuff on the internet, when I started to do my stuff. So that means sometimes after 2006, 19 years ago. And they updated me well after 2010, 2000, I don't know what year, 2012, 2013, they sickened me with this stuff. Now we will expand, blah, 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 of those people that pertain to the internet, the public personnel, blah, 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 they're gonna have their page. Yet it was British royals, it was Prince William, but then you're not gonna have. So, do we live in a parallel worlds? And what kind of democracy is this Western democracy? Where is this taking the world to? Is it right for Google to have a total domination of the internet space? This is directly from British royals. This is a company associated, just as I explained in details. They were foremost concerned about how to censor the people that counter crown. This was the biggest issue of the British royals. It was total obsession about Charles, Andrew, about anything that would pop up on the internet. It just goes way back in time, just as I reported. '98, '97, '96, way back in time. It was obsession about this stuff. It goes into time before internet even existed. It goes into paranoia, into schizophrenia issues implemented against me by the British royals. And it is the reality. It is what it turned into. So, the message is clear in respect to this post here. The message is clear. The message is, there's many messages in this post here. Many messages. If you analyze this post, there's many messages. The message for the humanity, for the common man, or wherever you are in the world, simply is never give up, never give in. If it's not your fault, never give up, never give in. Never bow down, even for a single second, and hit back with everything you have. The message is very simple. Any kind of extremism, here I recall death to USA, death to America, etc., etc. The message is very simple. Extremism must be met with extremism. And when I think of extremism, nothing is of a greater extremism than this here. Nothing comes to mind would be of a greater extremism than what you see right there. I was born in Slovenia. This was back then in Yugoslavia, I should say. This Slovenia borders countries like Italy, Austria. It's in the central part of the Europe. Inside of the European Union, inside of NATO. For the stuff like this is totally impermissible. I do not blame one side for it, but I scientifically broke down how things function really in this part of the world, in post-Soviet, in post-Greater Serbian Chetnik Yugoslav state, now known as Slovenia. No longer Serbia, but Slovenia. There are many messages if you're going to pay attention to the stuff I talk about. Many messages. With every message that you get, with every post, with every article you read, with every report. These are reports, they're not articles. These are what police will refer to as a police report. Giving more power to you as a human being to fight back passed anti-discrimination, I don't know what kind of laws they have out there, defamation, whatever. For truth must never be silenced. The truth must never be silenced. And it doesn't matter how harsh, fight back. Be a human being. The message is simple on my blog. It's a blog for everybody, wherever you are in this world. Doesn't matter where you are. It demonstrates past social fears that are instilled through society. Societies, not only societies, in bones of people. Past graves. I was dumped in here in 2012 and 2015 twice. Past fears of death, past whatever. Fight back, and when you fight back, make sure you hit them in the nose so they bleed as much as possible. And eventually, if you only can, bury them. Bury them alive, scum. A message from my website is clear. We are not gonna take it. We are not gonna take it, and we will meet you with equal and greater in return. This is a blog designed to unleash humanity in people. This is not an ordinary blog. I was born into the slavery, not into the golden grip, like Prince William Harry. Yeah, this because many would say it's good. I like that. I like this. Because many would say, oh, he chose the right blog, whatever. Yeah, every one of my posts is the right blog. Every one of my posts is a reliever for the people, for the human souls. Every one of them is a relief. Every one of them is a medication for wounded souls. Humanity is in distress. The conventions, agreements they have come to upon the end of the World War II have fallen apart, and evil again is taking over. And the way to fight back is to fight back. Whichever way you know, whichever way, Politics is a sickness. Absolutely, politics is a sickness. Politics is absolutely a sickness. I will say to you that a politic absolutely is a sickness. Politics is absolutely a sickness. Politics, it's a weapon of choice for the politicians, for the royalties. It's a type of sickness they infest you with through the torture. I did talk to you something a little about the torture, comparable to what they claim is schizophrenia. And next to the torture being done to you, they allow themselves, in my case they did already, to label me with mental illness. So, the politics is just an extra tool, extra genocide tool, next to a firm extermination procedure. That's a psychiatric extermination procedure, and is used to rationalize, to accent the importance of extermination of one, rather than to voice the truth behind the torture. So that's a politics. I completely agree with it. I totally agree with this definition, which they told me that this is what it is. They told me that politics is a mental illness. But they told me this because the enemy who was doing this stuff to me and who was using me didn't want me to talk about the politics. Not because they would be worried for you or because they would want a better world or because they would want to help anybody. No, they make sure that next to all the damage they do to you, they seal your mouth. So they would have a little as possible problems removing you from this world. Because political MK Ultra, it's all about the politics on the other hand. The political part of MK Ultra, it's all about pushing in your face, beginning as a baby, all kinds of political sickness, all kinds of political issues. All kinds of political issues. So yes, politics is a tool. Politics is a mental illness. I completely agree with it. The one that has an uppercase in a world of politics, obviously, are politicians, royals, and so on. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that a hate crime is the way for humanity forward, as British royals have demonstrated to the world. It does not have to be that way. It is that way only when you agree to it, only when you consent to it, only when you give up on it. But otherwise it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm the first person who have proven this. There was no other person who have proven this with humongous costs. That didn't come only at the expense of me, but also, as you see right there, is my father. So they affiliated politics with mental illness, with stuff. But politics is way more than mental illness, just as the torture that is directed toward depicting somebody as mentally ill person also is way more than just a torture. It can also be a tool that serves you well in a process that you can use to demonstrate what exactly this world is made out of, if you can. It goes to explain how torture tourism goes hand in hand with the psychiatry and politics. This blog is outstanding account of something that world have never seen, had no ability to look into, but is the biggest part of our societies. The corruption is unprecedented, with people appointed by the certain structures without people having any kind of right to ownership. It seems like as if the world will be completely privatized. With a crime, literally through the crime. They were selecting people like Sergey Brin, Mihailovich, or Larry Page, just through exactly as I described here in this blog. And these are the people basically who shape the reality. I hope you understand, stuff that you see on the internet is just as a reality as books, maybe even more so, in certain sense, even more so. And so I do not consent to this type of reality, to this degree of violence, because I see this as an enormous degree of violence. I don't agree to that. With your presence on the internet, and this is really not against this girl, whatever, or any of these people, whoever, whatever, with your presence on the internet, that I'm going to say to you folks, you support, you are a backbone of organized crime. It is simple as this. You occupied internet space. You're going to say, oh no, that's mine, and that's yours, and that's yours, and so on. Wherever that you want to say, this is not the way it is. The stuff you guys do on the internet, the stuff that you guys do in lives, but you're going to say, well, this is a political, this is how, what can we do about that? Everybody needs to pay bills. Everybody needs to, it's the same for everybody. Concept is surely a concept of Roman bread and games concept. This kind of concept here. This is a concept. This is totally barbaric concept of do it whichever way you know concept. With what you have, the British Royal is right at the top here of this pyramid. Deciding about absolutely everything, how it shall be. Categorizing the entire world through the net into needs per specific country and through the social order pertaining to the human rights of general global population. That's exactly what we have. We have nothing other than enormous spread of organized crime. And with your pages like this, and really might sound crazy, I'm not against you. You, however, do contribute to this kind of stuff here. You do contribute to this kind of stuff. Well, yes, exactly. To this kind of stuff. You do contribute to this kind of stuff. On the right side, you're going to see how many people views the blog. 9, 13, 16, 14, 18, 25, 11. That one's not published. 16, 21, 12, 17, 16. With a little bit statistics, then the blog looks like this. We go through all times, and the blog looks like this here. We go to a video channel, and you can see views, how many? 1, 2, 4, 0. This is 0, 16, 7, 6, 4, 2, 2, 7, 11, 8, 22, 14, 11, 34, 10, 6, all the way down to this video right here that states 2,386. It's a clockwork orange. No, it's really not your fault that people are addicted to fantasy, to imagination. It's not your fault. It's every day the sick presence of time that has people express more interest in sickening shit rather than realistic, real stuff. This is not your fault. I'm not saying you're doing your job, you're paying your bills. It's different political systems, political whatever it is. That's the way it works. And British have positioned themselves really finely with this, within all this, through this scheme, crime, organized crime, this pyramid. Right at the top is normal people, is the most normal people, is where everything looks normal. This is the only website where you find out what really goes on in the background of all this is truly my blog. There's no other overview, there's no other view that gives you view into the family, into what really is going on with these people. What the reality of this world is, because they're right at the top of the pyramid. Social order, global social order. Yeah, and really this is not your fault. To a certain degree it's not. But how far will this, your excuse, and the excuse of people at United Nations and journalists and all these people that supposedly shape societies or society, global, let's say global society, not societies. How far will this shit go? I mean, this blog of mine demonstrates how far they're willing to go, how far they have gone. And yes, politics is a tool. It's a special kind of tool. If you sicken somebody enough, he will not even see his whatever family getting killed around him, and him getting killed. If you sicken somebody enough like this, he will not see nothing about what goes on. He will be so fucking crazy that he will not pay to anything around him what goes on. Or you can make him so sick that he will only start to pay attention to his problems and to the people dying around him, allowing you enemies, scum, to march forward with it. It is. The politics is mental illness. It is. But you guys are not making difference for better in this world. Proven beyond any doubt through my blog, what nobody did. You continue to enforce your concept through your pages, through your public pages, through whatever you have, allowing yourself to be displayed on the internet, and whatever not to be allowed displayed on the internet, and erase the presence and shape the reality based on this. But you know what, guys? I must tell you something. You're mentally ill. I'm real. I'm realistic. But those of you that are doing this kind of stuff, those are mentally ill. There's no doubt about it. If I manage, and I did manage to prove beyond any doubt about stuff I have stated in this blog here, then I'm not the one who is mentally ill. I'm real. You're the one who is shaping mental illness. You're the one who is doing this. You are sickening people. Not I. The way you guys have taken this society at the United Nations and all this, I tell you what, the way this thing is going, they're gonna end up killing one another. This is the way it goes, the way they did with my family, the way they did with me. At the end, we're all gonna kill one another, and they will be laughing at us, the way things are going. We have assisted dying, my choice now, protests. We have the crazy guy over there with a crazy laugh over there, big fucking crazy laugh. He died, and that's a fucking happy day. That's what I have seen already with this kind of crazy looks. the people that were involved in MK Ultra for the last, I don't know, 7 years, they were doing this kind of, and they brainwashed me with this kind of imagery that you're going to see, and I will now witness for you, and I will be gone, and so on, and this and that. We're going to end a global society. People, this world are going to, real people, going to end up fucking killing one another, or they'll be laughing at us. That's how this stuff is going to end. It's already ending like this. For those of you that have not realized about this. Panem et circenses, bread and games now are coming in the form of wars. Artificial intelligence is going to replace you at work in many cases. So you can imagine you will be more and more and more dependent on social handouts. The social handouts, the so-called support, your state support and so on, these are the people who have the upper hand on it. So the world is truly, truly coming to an end. With your input into this, folks, the world is going to hell. With your normality, with the way where this whole thing is heading to, without a doubt, the world is heading to the hell, and your perception of reality should be unacceptable for the rest of the world. So with this video, I'm not appealing to obviously I'm not to the certain portion of the population, you know. I'm appealing to these numbers here that you see, 9, 9, 13, 13, this kind of stuff. This is the stuff I'm appealing to. This is of my interest. What is of my interest is reality, not the aspect. What you guys do with your presence to the general public. That's where I'm heading to. This is not democracies. This is about something completely different. This is something else, not democracy. The message that you guys sort out to the public, to the world, and I am disgusted with this because many of you even consider yourself as a beneficial for the world, some kind of peacemakers, and oh yeah, ambassador to whatever, you know, peace and I don't know what else and so on. The message that you guys have, the message that you guys spread, and I bet if I did Google all these people here from, probably every one of them has their own page dedicated to them. The message that you send to the people with your presence on the internet is really bizarre. Now also with my presence on the internet. The message suggests, well, since in my case this started at few months of age, is Well, a little boy, a little girl, you will be this and you will be that. And you are going to be this and you are going to be that. So, the message that you send across the internet to humanity with your bizarre presence of democracy as you portray yourself is truly no hope to humanity. You stood up for all kinds of bizarre and fake causes. You created all kinds of fake human rights issues to cover up, even to steer away attention from real problems, from real issues, from real genocides. And you dare to promote certain forms of views on human rights, and you actually dare to, like in my case, you dare to even cause harm in the name of justice, in the name of correcting impersonality and human traits. Actually, I will say to you, I would have a royals here in Novo Mesto on this property playing with the gardening, police, neighbors assisting my parents in gardening, suggesting me during gardening, cleaning of the garden and so on, that this shit will go on. And when I say this shit, they broke the spine and they incited my parents in taking the side against me by suggesting them, well, he's not helping you outside. And so, like everybody else that goes to the work, we have to do him a damage, including breaking the spine and so on, this kind of sickening stuff. So you dare to actually do a correction through breaking spine, and talking about the Prince William directly here, talking about Prince Charles directly here, who are very consistent with what I'm talking about with their visits. Using a police, using neighbors, using a village people and so on to demonstrate, to teach, to tutor, literally through poisoning, through breaking spine issues and so on, about how you shall be and how you shall not be. Wow, man, this kind of stuff sucks. The way you imagine society, the way you imagine the world, the world global order should be extremely unacceptable for every human being. With your presence like this, that you create your virtual reality and employment offices, social services coordinate this stuff with you. Hell, man, you do just as much damage as psychiatrists do inside of the psychiatric hospital, or police that does this dirty job. As for you, none of you is interested in the truth. The truth is of no interest to you. That's why this video. So, every nobody, every asshole, every nobody has its page. Their presence on the internet. And this presence on the internet is also directly, in my case, connected to financial theft. It's more than just, it extends into extreme of giving the psychiatrists the ability to hospitalize, do whatever they want to do with you, to police, at please. This is the extreme, but in between this extreme, not only the right to employment is denied, but even the right to any kind of income, online income, anything. So, your presence actually, for me personally, it's a fucking insult on the internet that you guys are. You're an insult, actually, when I consider this stuff. This is realistic. The stuff I talk about is realistic. Oh yeah, yes, of course. It is. It's enormous censorship of this blog. There is no doubt about it. They not only bully me in respect to views and so on, But this goes into extreme, into completely other extreme. So you know, guys, this isn't about, as most of you would say to me, let me just pick some random person, just something. Let me just find something, somebody, anything, anyone. Just anybody, anything that you would not recognize from the internet at all. Shit. Travel, finance, sport. Sport, absolutely. But let's go here. Show business. Let's take this one here. Martin Kempe. Okay, Spendo Ballet. All right, let me bow down to that one. Not really, but okay. Fiona Bruce showed. All right, let's take this one here. You see you see the stuff I'm talking about? This is British journalist. And there you have here. Then you have a whole pack of this. It's never-ending story. God knows how many millions of this they have on the internet anyways. Yeah, this is not even about this famous concept. Everybody loves to make money, and so do I. But it is, on the other hand, because this shit, in my case, this is because of you guys. It's not even about the money. You made it happen. Think about it. This shit is not even about everybody makes money and so do I. Everybody loves to make money and so do I. This isn't about this. This is about you guys turned into completely other issue. Completely other issue. Enjoy your lucrative careers, your prosperity. May you be blessed in heaven. Rain down with the money, prosperity. Because that's what you get paid for. See nothing, know nothing, heard nothing.